Welcome to our channel, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for stopping by, and if you have not yet, please like and subscribe so we can keep our channel going and we can keep bringing very interesting content that you may not have time to keep up with in the world. So we're going to be speaking about all kinds of interesting topics on this channel, so please stay tuned and you will be able to, take in some of this wonderful information. So today we're going to just go into, because it is, that time of the year when people are vacationing and thinking about things to explore. So I was just seeing some information on this article talking about the emptiest place in the USA is now underrated adventure destination. So you need to get out there and rate it, see what it's talking about. But it is in Nevada, and I have spent time in Nevada, so I know that there can be a lot of wonderful places to visit there. You can get the lake in, to the mountains, to the desert. It really has all kinds of things that you can do when it comes to adventure that could just really get a nice variety. So I'm just going to go into what they're talking here. All right. Las Vegas is one of the most fun-filled cities in the world and probably Nevada's biggest brand. However, the state is also known for being home to some of the gorgeous desert towns and stunning vacation spots like the famous Lake Tahoe. I was married in Lake Tahoe, amazing place. I highly suggest you visit that if you that city if you have not. It is amazing. Ironically, this wonderful and underrated state also boasts natural spaces with comparatively few visitors. A national monument in Nevada is considered one of the emptiest places in the contiguous U.S. The title is because of the lack of visitors or weak infrastructure, but there is still plenty of natural beauty and wonder to see and experience. The few crowds and remote location are now drawing adventurers from far and wide. Look at that. It's quite vast. The Basin and Range National Monument is located about 5 hours away from the bustling Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas. This is not to be confused with the historical Great Basin National Park, which is also in Nevada but on the Utah border. The National Monument sprawls an incredible 704,000 acres across Nevada. 704,000 acres. That is just an incredible amount of land. Incredible. It's full of mountains, valleys, rock formations, and indigenous rock art. That really sounds fun to explore. However, what sets this beautiful natural space apart from other national monuments is the remoteness of the location. Famously, it has been referred to as one of the emptiest spaces in a state famous for its emptiness. It's a thing to be famous for. You won't find any amenities, visitor centers, or gift shops at this national monument. Basin and Range National Monument has no paved roads or trails, virtually zero cell phone service, and no bathrooms or water amenities. It's rough and ready, perfect for backcountry adventures. So much so that free camping is permitted for up to 14 days. So you can camp for free, but you might want to take some food and some water and maybe a solar charger for your phone. But it sounds like if someone just really wanted to get out there and get away from things, this is a perfect experience. Or you just want to, explore. Some people want to, challenge themselves like a Naked and Afraid show. Maybe not naked and hopefully not afraid, but just seeing what you can do to go out there and just truly have an organic experience, just you and nature, and just go through that amazing adventure. Okay, so things to do in Basin and Range National Monument. Okay. This super remote national monument may not have many amenities, but there's still plenty to do. Everything here centers around outdoor pursuits, and entry is free, making it a cost-effective place for adventure. Free is always good. If you plan to camp in the Basin and Range National Monument, you can camp for up to 14 days for free. This gives ample opportunity to explore the backcountry and get off grid. There's only one formal camping area in the entire 704,000 acre park, and it's the Mount Irish Campground. 4 campsites, 1 pit toilet, and picnic tables are available on a first-come, first-served basis near the archaeological site. Okay, so there is a spot where it sounds like you can get a little bit more amenities going on for yourself. So, you get there early, get in, you can get you a spot. Hiking. While there aren't any formal hiking trails in the Basin Range National Monument, it's a great place to explore off-road. Bring a paper map, all the safety gear, and plenty of supplies. Make a note of any key rock formations by your car and let someone know where you are, as phone GPS is unlikely to work here. That sounds very adventurous. Other adventure sports. The Basin Range National Monument is also popular for mountain biking, climbing, and OHV riding. Similar to the lack of hiking trails, the National Monument has no biking or ATV trails. The only directive or advisory is that you don't drive or hunt in the Worthington Mountain Wilderness, leave no trace, and steer clear of touching any rock art or petroglyphs. So I'm thinking they would like to preserve what's out there, so be kind. Hunting. You are allowed to hunt and trap in the Basin Range National Monument. This aligns with the Bureau of Land Management guidelines and Nevada's state law. Ensure you brush up on both before planning a hunting or trapping trip. So I'm not sure what's out there to trap and hunt for, but hey, that's all part of the adventure, right? So if you are a hunter, a camper, and want to get an off-the-grid experience, sounds like this is all for you. Okay, the Basin Range National Monument has been home to the indigenous Americans for 13,000 years. As a result, several rock art sites surround the National Monument. The most popular areas are the Shooting Gallery and Mount Irish. The park guidelines remind visitors not to touch the art, as the oils on their skin can damage the petroglyphs. All right. Beautiful. It's beautiful. When people say the Basin Range National Monument is remote, they are not kidding. The official BLM website says the nearest towns are Ely to the north and Caliente to the east and Alamo to the south. However, these aren't exactly close places to visit. These towns are located off Highway 93, making them easy to reach by car. However, the paved roads stop as soon as you get to the Basin and Range National Monument. You must ensure a reliable all-terrain vehicle with plenty of gas. It is also recommended that you bring extra jerry cans with you, as there is no gas station in the park, as you might expect. Given the park's remoteness, public transportation is not an option. Driving is the only way to get around the Basin and Range National Monument relatively safely. As the park is so big, choose one area and focus on that. For example, the Shooting Gallery rock art area is near Alamo in the south. In contrast, Ely, off State Route 318, may be closer to the White River Narrows and Mount Irish archaeological districts. So, when to visit? Given the harsh landscape of the Basin and Range National Monument, visiting at any time poses trouble. However, seasonally speaking, summer is particularly bad time to visit. The park regularly hits 90 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer with no amenities, real shelter, or service. It's a rough time to visit. Well, I guess summer exploration, but hey, what better time really to go? I mean, just think about taking some stuff to just keep you cool and shaded, and summer's the time to explore, right? So hey, just make sure you take stuff to stay hydrated and cool. All right. Likewise, the nighttime temperatures also often dip under freezing if you're camping in the winter. Therefore, the shoulder seasons of spring and fall seem to be the best times to visit to avoid the harshest temperatures. However, check the forecast before you travel and pack accordingly. So maybe even you want to think about, as the transition comes at the end of the summer, going into the fall, it also might be a nice time to go. But for anyone that just wants to see like the petroglyphs and maybe even take a metal detector, what might you find with a metal detector? I just find such interest in that. But being that all those civilizations were out there from, so long ago, there's probably so much to be found. So that is probably really an amazing place. So if you're feeling brave and adventurous, head to the Basin and Range National Monument, the emptiest place in the contiguous U.S., without cell service, amenities, or even paved roads and trails. It's a remote wonderland for the most adventurous travelers. And also, if you have young ones, how about an experience that will really show them all the things that they might take for granted in our comforts, daily comforts, and then also what might they learn out there, how to, camp out without anything. It could be a lot of great experiences in there. So I just wanted to read that because, I know people are always looking for adventure and places to go. I had no idea that was the case, or they offered that there. So I just wanted to share that information, and hopefully someone can find it valuable. And if you end up visiting it, or you have visited it, if you could please comment on the video to share with others your experience or what might help them through their, travels through there, or their camping experience, that would be much appreciated. So thank you all for stopping by. Hope you have an amazing day, and please stop by again. Thank you. Blessings.